All right, I'm gonna start gluing together some of the frames on the boat. Oops. Damn it. Take two. I'm getting ready to start gluing down some of the first frames on the boat. I'm gonna give this a try. I've never used it before. It's a Total Boat product called Fixo 2.0 wood thickened epoxy. It says it's good for fillets. I know this will be great for doing the seams and stuff, but I'll see what the consistency is, if it's thick enough for like the big structural fillets on the frames. If not, I'll just mix up the regular epoxy that I have with some wood flour and do it that way. But if this works, it's gonna save a ton of time.
Minus the time spent on squeezing the manual caulking gun, these pre-thickened tubes of epoxy are a prompt invention. We threw a couple of these on our wish list to try out. Thanks to our followers, it makes quick work of the filleting process.
All right, initial assessment. Oh, it's so nice. Oh, it's so easy. Man, you can just lay down a fillet super fast, super clean. Wow. That took me what, less than a minute? I just got to clean up the edges, but that is a clean fillet. So this is going to make the building process a lot easier.
Summer is transitioning into fall, and Little Red is coming along nicely. The frames are integrating with the planking, and the seams are gleaming.
That's a nice clean fillet. Like I said, I've never used it before. So one of the things I was concerned about is consistency. Is it gonna be thick enough to do a good fillet coming out of the tube and not be too runny? Man, I'm sold. That stuff is great. It ran clean, smooth.
Total Boat happened to see our videos and reached out to us. They sent us a care package with no strings attached and set us up with an affiliate link so you can get a discount on their products too, also kicking back a percentage of your purchase to supporting our channel. We got presents!
All right, so we got an email the other day from Total Boat, and they saw that we were building the dinghy and reached out and asked if we needed any materials, and they were nice enough to send us a few boxes. So let's see what we got. Maybe the first time using fancy marine products. Total Fair. Actually, I've used a lot of this. This stuff is sweet. I like it a lot. Epoxy primer. Some of the topside paint. It's 1 part polyurethane. This is the sand beige. That'll be for the inside. We got, oh yeah, fire red. Keeping with the red paint scheme. So she matches Red Aviva. And then black for the bottom. Sweet. Thinner for nice. The
primer.
Primer, yeah. Sent us more rollers and trays. Nice. That's awesome. And this one is all just a box of Fixo. It's not something that we necessarily need, but it's something that will just make the whole process super easy and convenient. It's great for fillets and very strong, but you know, I'm not mixing up individual things, especially if I just need to do a little thing or something. I can just chuck a tube in the caulking gun and glue some stuff or run some fillets or whatever. So I'm excited to use this stuff. They were nice enough to send us a case of them. All right, let's build a dinghy.
You. Energized by the generosity of others, we prepared to install the breast hook. Garrett made this piece last week, and it'll be the first hardwood involved in this construction. It molds the shape of the bow and has to be in before the heavy fillet forward can be laid.
So we're installing the breast hook right now, and I was just trying to decide what I wanted to do. The inside edge of the breast hook should be beveled to match the angle of the planking so it all fits in nice and flat and smooth. But since I've decided to paint the whole thing anyway, I was contemplating just being lazy and just putting it in with thickened epoxy to fill the bevel, and then just gluing it in and then sanding everything smooth. And if you paint it, you'll never notice the difference. No difference in strength or anything in this kind of application, but there's still a chance that I might finish like the rails and everything bright, and like the rails, the seats, and those kind of accent parts, and those will kind of come straight into this breast hook. And so I think if those are finished bright, then this should be finished bright, so I should make sure that I still allow the option. So I'm gonna not be lazy. Well, it's gonna be a rolling bevel because it's pretty much flat here and then slowly opens up as it goes.
This is Alder, and Garrett's dad had it laying around the garage for nearly 20 years.
Yeah, this pulls so much shape into the bow. Really gives it that. It's kind of part of the look that I really liked when I was trying to find plans to build. Just this like really nice, big, bold bow. You can see how much shape it puts in. See under here. Just got a little bit more to go.
She's so cute.
Go get a new caulking gun. This one is not working too well. Went and got another little bit more heavy duty caulking gun. That should help. Now I'm gonna run more fillets. The goal for the day is to try to get all the fillets done. I'm gonna start with the big one up in the bow, and then maybe do the transom, and then all the rest of the frames.
Today, the last two frames will be secured to the hull. Frame 1 on the fore and aft side, and frame 2 is partially done. Before Total Boat sent us a case of Thixo, Garrett mixed the epoxy with wood flour and put it in a gallon Ziploc, cutting the tip like a pastry bag. It's not as smooth as the Thixo, but it's just as strong, and will fare easy enough. Sizing up your paddle.
Yeah.
Back to the Thixo tube.
Yep. If I had my electric caulking gun from the boat, I probably would have zapped out all these fillets with this stuff super quick and easy. But with a regular caulking gun, it gets a little tough on the hands to be just blowing through tubes. I don't think I managed to film much or any of the other fillets that I just did with the classic wood flour and the epoxy, and then pour it into a Ziploc bag and use that like you're icing a cake.
Mixing your own is definitely cheaper because you can buy in bulk, but as far as a marine product, $30 a tube isn't terrible.
Each tube they send you 2 nozzles, so you don't have to use the entire tube. When you're finished, if you still got some left, you pull this nozzle off and the tube will keep, and you can just screw the top back on it to seal it. You know, budget wise, it's probably not, like if you're doing a big build, budget wise it's not really, depending on what your budget is, it's probably not feasible to be using this for like the whole thing. Like convenience wise, you can't beat it, but I mean it's a much more expensive way to go. For this being such a small build, you just can't beat the convenience. You pay for convenience. But this with an electric caulking gun, that would be the ultimate convenience. I'm bummed I don't have my electric caulking gun. It's still at the boat.
Some tools, once you get used to using, are hard to go without.
And this stuff just spreads insanely smooth for fillets. That's my favorite. That's like one of the really nice things about it.
Yeah.
Is it spreads like butter. Anytime I have excess like on the board and the fillets are clean, then I'll take whatever's left over and I'll just use it to kind of like spot glue all the seams on the outside, which is the next step before we can flip the hull over and really fill all the seams, get it ready for fiberglass and stuff. Fast.
Not thick so enough. So you got half of this one, the whole other side, and that smidge out of one tube, huh?
Yeah.
They're thick fillets.
Yeah.
His epoxy station in the garage brewed the biggest batches, but spoiled by ease, Thickso fillets the rest.
Shit. It was gonna be amazing.
And then that happened. Need just a little bit more.
The tube's out.
And the tube's out. Oh man.
I think we'll have enough.
I'm going to put this camera here just in case you decide to flip this all by yourself before I'm ready. So you don't forget to film it.
But you help me flip it real quick, then I can move along rather than, because it'll take like 30 seconds to do.
It's so light. In my PJs with morning breath, we flip the dinghy to continue work upside down. Next phase.
Make sure it's sitting on the frames. Okay.
What's the next step?
Finished doing all the spot gluing on the bottom.
On the outside?
Yes. Which I've done a lot of it already, which is the excess epoxy from all the fillets. But so finished doing that, and then we need to let that kick, and then we can take all the stitches out. And once the stitches are out, then we can finish glue all the seams.
And then sanding and fiberglass thereafter?
Yeah, I think. Ow.
Bottoms up next. The final steps before we roll out the fiberglass, forming a solid hull built to explore. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click our link for any Total Boat products you might be interested in. It really helps support the show.